animals. Avoid factory farmed meats, dairy, poultry, eggs, and fish, including highly processed luncheon meats and sausage. In the wild, cattle eat grasses, but most commercially raised cattle are fed low-quality grains to make them fat. Because these animals are not designed to eat grains, they quickly become ill, which requires the administration of antibiotics that are ingested. Eat meat, poultry, and eggs from pasture-fed animals. Animals are designed to thrive in rich ecosystems that healthy pastures provide. In order to become healthy food for us, animals should be raised in diverse garden-like settings where the pasture health is supported by healthy soil, sun, and room. Pastured meats. The ideal diet for pastured animal is high-quality grasses and legumes, and plenty of grub for poultry. Animals feast on rapidly growing pasture, ensuring their fat, both meat and milk, offers high amounts of vitamin D along with other essential fat-soluble vitamins A, E, and K. The fatty acid ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 is more likely to remain in balance of a 3-to-1 ratio compared to an unhealthy 20-to-1. Essential fatty acids in the right balance are necessary for growth and are found in virtually every cell membrane in the body. Some organics, non-GMO, non-soy, grain feeding is acceptable because cattle and other ruminants would naturally graze seeds in a late season pasture. Choose full fat milk products from pasture-fed cows or goats, preferably raw and or fermented, such as raw milk, whole yogurt, cultured butter, whole raw cheeses, and fresh sour cream. Real milk products and cultured milk foods from thriving animals feast on rich and diverse pasture, provides healthy bacteria, fat-soluble vitamins, beneficial milk proteins, and enzymes. Raw, non-pasteurized milk from pastured, healthy cows or goats of heritage breed produces high-fat milk, being the best choice. Sausage. Nothing goes to waste without all the scraps and small pieces of meat that are used to make sausages. Salting, smoking, fermenting, and drying are all ways to preserve meat for longer without refrigeration. Cooks began adding saltpeter, a potassium nitrate, one of the first chemical preservatives, during the Middle Ages. Saltpeter keeps sausages from spoiling while also retaining the fresh pink color inside. Modern chemical preservatives, BHT, BHA, TBHQ, potassium sorbate, and sodium benzoate are still commonly added to commercial sausages to prevent rancidity, extend shelf life, and kill microbes. All of these pose serious health threats. Many sausages also contain highly processed flavorings, which include GMO corn syrup solids, sucrose, dextrose, monosodium glutamine, MSG, and other hidden sources of autolyzed yeast extract, hydrolyzed plant proteins. Why the need for chemicals? They cover up the flavor of low-quality ingredients, speed up the curing process, and kill pathogens. While saltpeter may have prevented botulism, it was never effective against Salmonella or E. coli. All preservatives and antimicrobials still can't prevent the contamination of careless handled meat or meat that already contains resistant microbes. The addition of GMO sweeteners and excitotoxin glutamates will fool taste buds into thinking they have tasty arsenal products. Sausages made from local pastured meats mixed with tons of wholesome flavor avoids all the chemicals found in processed meats. With the right ratio of salt, pepper, and sugar, a mixture of fresh pork, beef, or other ground meat can cure safely in a refrigerator. The addition of vinegar strengthens the cure even more, while adding moisture and flavor. The finished product isn't shelf stable unless dried or smoked, but this method does yield the delicious flavor of a high-end charcuterie. It also freezes well for longer storage. Organ meats. Liver, kidneys, heart, brains, and sweetbreads are all highly nutritious. They were often eaten at special times of life where good nutrition was especially important, during pregnancy, conception, or illness. They contain substantial amounts of vitamins A and E, as well as essential fatty acids and minerals. Organ meats are best avoided if they come from unnaturally raised animals, as the organs tend to concentrate whatever is in the animal's environment. Cleanly raised animals will contain clean organs free from toxins. Stocks. Fish, chicken, and meat stocks are supremely nutritious. The castaway parts of the animal are combined with water and acid, simmered for long periods of time, drawing gelatin collagen out of the animal parts and into the broth. This protein is what makes up the bulk of our connective tissues. Our bodies need collagen for healthy skin, tendons, bones, and cartilage. When collagen is simmered by making stock, it is irreversibly hydrolyzed into gelatin. Gelatin is very similar to collagen, and it is what gives the stock its gel once cooled. This food compound has shown helpful in treating digestive disorders, anemia, diseases of the blood, diabetes, muscular dystrophy, and cancer. Gelatin is a digestive aid, drawing fluid to the digestive system for easier digestion. It is not a complete protein, yet it acts as a protein sparer. It helps the body fully use the other proteins that are consumed. Another compound present in the stock is glycine. The amino acid makes up more than a third of collagen. It is a neurotransmitter, guards against oxidative stress, and promotes healthy detoxification in the liver. Other important amino acids such as proline and glutamine are also present in stocks. Naturally raised meats offer superior nutrition. Healthy and unstressed animals make healthier food. Therefore, the bones from these animals make the best stocks. Prepare homemade stocks from the bones of chickens, beef, lamb, and fish, and use liberally in soups, stews, gravies, and sauces. Homemade stocks that are properly prepared are extremely nutritious, providing minerals in the form of electrolytes, which are easily assimilated. The gelatin in broth acts to aid in digestion and helps the body to more fully utilize proteins. Traditional ways to make bacon is dry cured through hand rubbing with a mixture of herbs, sugars, salt, and the sodium nitrate curing salts. Vitamin C in the mix helps give cured meats its red color and helps ensure nitrates convert to healthy nitric oxide and not carcinogenic nitrosamines. Eat wild fish, not farm raised, and shellfish from unpolluted waters. Fish are designed to thrive in rich ecosystems of free and unpolluted waters. When fish are healthy, they provide healthy food for us. Ocean-wise sustainable fish include Arctic char, cod, sablefish, halibut, snow crab, shellfish, spot prawns, rainbow trout, albacore tuna, and salmon. Liquid smoke is produced by burning wood chips or sawdust, then condensing the smoke into liquids and dissolving it in water. It is more carcinogenic than cigarette smoke. Dairy is harmful for 3 reasons, all of which have the effect of increasing insulin levels. First, dairy can carry growth stimulating hormones, insulin and insulin-like growth factors, which worsen hormone imbalances by increasing insulin exposure and therefore androgen excess. Not all dairy is equally as hormone dense, however. Free-range animals eating an organic, natural diet won't carry added hormones in their milk. Regardless, milk is inherently anabolic, growth stimulating. This is why it is able to sustain and grow baby animals. Some humans choose to include raw, organic, natural milk, understanding importance of quality and process that affects potential health risks. We are the only mammals that drink another's milk. If choosing to do so, ferment from unpasteurized, grass-fed organic dairy. Second, unfermented dairy is sugar heavy since it contains milk sugar, lactose. In the case of flavored yogurt, sugar may even be added. Sugar, as we've seen, causes rapid insulin spikes and negatively affects insulin sensitivity. Third, dairy requires insulin to ferry its amino acids into muscles and fat cells. These amino acids are metabolized quickly and provoke rapid insulin response. Stop industrialized dairy. Avoid processed, pasteurized milk or ultra pasteurized milk products, low fat milk, skim milk, powdered milk, or imitation milk products. Say no to milk we weaned as a baby. Eat whole foods. The quality of our milk has drastically changed over the past century, changing the daily recommended requirements for dairy from 3 to none. Many suffer from lactose intolerance and resort to non-dairy alternatives, which often end up causing problems worse than the dairy itself. Consume unpasteurized and unhomogenized from free-roaming grass-fed cattle. Pasteurization kills off beneficial bacteria. It is unnecessary and harms the milk, destroys milk's intrinsic germicidal properties as well as its healthy enzymes, which are necessary for proper digestion. Chemicals are added to suppress odor and restore taste, and synthetic vitamin D2, which is toxic and linked to heart disease. Raw milk enzymes that aid in digestion are intact, as are the vitamins. There are 2 pasteurization processes: LTLT, low temperature, long time, 145 degrees Fahrenheit or 63 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes, and HTST, high temperature, short time, 162 Fahrenheit or 72 degrees Celsius for 30 seconds. UHT, ultra high pasteurization. Milk is pasteurized between 138 degrees Celsius and 158 degrees Celsius for 3 seconds to eliminate pathogens and extend shelf life. Once it is cooled down, the milk is poured into a sterilized package without air contact. Homogenization, a process where milk is passed through a fine micron filter that makes the fat molecules smaller. It enables the fat molecules to bypass digestion, increase the chance of incomplete protein digestion in the small intestine, and allows some of the milk proteins to be absorbed in the bloodstream intact, which can sensitize the immune system and lead to milk allergy and intolerance. Growth hormones and antibiotics. Commercially produced dairy made from cows are commonly injected with growth hormones to increase milk production. Normally, a cow produces milk for 12 weeks after giving birth. It is a strain on her organs to produce milk that quickly. During this time, she loses weight, is infertile, and highly susceptible to disease such as mastitis, inflammation of the udder. By injecting a cow with growth hormone, a farmer can extend milk production for another 12 weeks, putting the cow under additional stress to produce milk for this extended. If the farmer gives a cow antibiotics to treat infection, then those antibiotics also end up in the milk. The practice of pasteurization, homogenization, and growth hormones continue because the dairy industry has become a big money-making business. Calcium is vital for many functions in the body, but the amount the body actually needs and can absorb are much less than most people think. All leafy green vegetables and grasses are inherently high in calcium, as well as iron, magnesium, vitamin C, and many of the B vitamins, as are celery, cauliflower, okra, onions, green beans, avocado, black beans, chickpeas, almonds, hazelnuts, and sesame seeds. The function of calcium in the body is to help neutralize the acid created by eating acid-forming foods like sugar, coffee, soda, and artificial sweeteners. If many of these acid-forming calcium-robbing foods are eliminated, there will be more available calcium to create and maintain strong bones and a healthy body. Conventional yogurt is produced with milk from cows that are nearly always confined and unable to graze on pasture, fed genetically engineered greens, chemical defoamers, artificial sweeteners, high levels of sugar, and high fructose corn syrup, artificial colors, synthetic preservatives, and carrageenan as a thickener. Fruity, drinkable yogurt in a tube marketed to children has no actual fruit, but tastes and looks like fruit yogurt due to artificial colors and artificial flavors. Lesser quality Greek yogurt products Lesser quality Greek yogurt products add thickening agents, stabilizers, to achieve thicker mouthfeel, or even imported milk protein concentrate, which is primarily imported from other countries in powdered form, being cheaper and as a way to avoid the time-consuming straining process. There is no standard for what constitutes Greek yogurt. The remaining solids result in a product with a thicker consistency and higher levels of protein, marketed as a healthy, high protein, and low fat product. Combine 1 tablespoon of flaxseed meal with 3 tablespoons of water. Let sit for 5 to 10 minutes to hydrate, and with the option of adding 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking powder to add leavening ability. Chia seed gel. Grind chia seeds in a coffee grinder or blender until it's a powder, and for each egg, combine 1 tablespoon of chia seed meal with 3 tablespoons water. Let sit for 10 minutes to hydrate, and then add into recipe. Optional, add 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking powder to boost leavening ability. Gelatin. Warm lightly to melt the gelatin and beat until frothy and add into the recipe immediately. Let the dough sit for an extra 5 or 10 minutes to gum up, and you have the option of adding the 1/8 teaspoon of baking powder to boost leavening ability. Cornstarch, non-GMO cornstarch. For each egg, combine 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and 3 tablespoons of water and use in the recipe. Optional, add 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking powder to boost leavening ability. Arrowroot. For each egg, add 2 tablespoons of arrowroot powder to the recipe. Mix with a bit of water as well first before adding if desired, and you have the option to add 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking powder to boost the leavening ability. Potato starch. For each egg, add 2 tablespoons of potato starch to recipe. Option is to mix with water before adding, and as well 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking powder to boost leavening ability. Banana. For each egg, mash together half a ripe banana with 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder and use in the recipe.